Previously on the Untitled Beatles podcast.
That was a stunning opener. That's my note on episode 6, which is by a country mile my favorite episode of the series. But they open with the Clan like that. It was like, oh shit! It was such a stark contrast from so much of the like polishing that they've done in the storytelling. It's like, well, we're gonna leave this part in pretty, raw and immediate.
Yeah, but they cut a lot of it.
Did they have that?
They
Okay.
cut a lot.
Untitled Beatles podcast.
What do you mean? Oh, of the KKK guy? Or
The Klansman refers to them as being a terror organization.
Oh, yeah, that's
and
right.
Ends with a threat.
we have ways, right? Yeah.
We have ways. There'll be surprises Monday night when they get here.
1995.
The Beatles made a statement in all the newspapers that they're getting more better than Jesus himself, and the Ku Klux Klan, being a religious order, is going to come out here the night that they appear at the Coliseum here, and we're going to demonstrate with different ways and tactics to stop this performance. The Klan is going to come out here because we're the only organization that will come out and make a stop to these accusations. This is nothing but blasphemy, and we're going to try to stop it any terror way we can, but it's going to stop. We're known as a terror organization. I think we have
a terror organization.
we have ways and means to stop this if this is going to be the case. Yes.
Well, what ways and means?
Well, I don't want to say this, but there'll be a lot of surprises Monday night, I believe, when they get here.
It ends with a threat. And because that coverage is on CBS, Barry Weiss wanted to talk to the Nazi more to get his views before it aired.
Right. Both sides, right.
This is CBS.
I got to do it. It's 57 minutes, the episode 6 on streaming. DVD, you get 71 minutes, so that's 14 extra minutes on the DVD. So after the Klan guy, then we get all the bigger than Jesus stuff, right?
Yeah, I have to say, it was wild to see how old is John at this point? He's in his 20s.
26 or 25, I guess. He'll be 26 in
That's
October.
26 in October, yeah. On the 12th of October. No more autographs.
Please, after the 20th of October, do not send fan mail to any address.
I found it astonishing that a 25-year-old John Lennon was such an incisive and thoughtful media critic.
Yes.
And like way more capable of speaking to what was happening than the fucking media itself.
Well, originally I was pointed out that fact in reference to England, that we meant more to kids than Jesus did, or religion at that time. I wasn't knocking it or putting it down, I was just saying it for the fact. And it is true, especially more for England than here. You know, but I'm not saying that we're better or greater or comparing us with Jesus Christ as a person or God as a thing or whatever it is. You know, I just said what I said and it was wrong or was taken wrong, and now it's all this.
I mean, for somebody so young and in the middle of such a whirlwind to be able to explain so clearly what he meant, how it was taken out of hand, it was just shocking to see somebody who is that incisive and that clear-minded in such a whirlwind of other people just being willfully ignorant and assholes about the whole thing.
And you know where that press conference to which you're referring took place? And Tony, they don't mention the location. That's in the Gold Coast in Chicago.
Yeah.
That's where that press conference is. They don't identify it because of the anti-Chicago bias that Disney has because they're based in a state with Ron DeSantis. And yeah, I took it there. We'll see you next.
Yeah, he did. He did take it there. Yeah. Chicago does not have a chip on its shoulder. It just doesn't.
No.
I will say this press conference sounds so much cleaner and clearer than it has in any other iteration of this same film footage we've seen for the last, 60 years, whatever it's been.
Wait till you hear Sean's meditation mix of John apologizing for saying they're bigger than Jesus. Only $89.
But I said it in that way, which is the wrong way, yeah.
It's going to change it, though. Bigger than Zeus, we can all agree.
For Disney, if you liked Hercules, you'll love John's Bigger Than Zeus.
No, bigger than Maui. We got to do the Moana time.
Oh, yeah.
What can I say except you're welcome?
A side note, I just picked up the Luminate app, which is this app that uses your phone flashlight to blink, and you close your eyes and hold it in front of your face, and you like trip and see stuff and meditate. And if you pay for the upgrade of it, it has a programmed scheme to the Mind Games meditation mixes in the app. I'm thinking about doing it and doing a little side episode on it.
Oh wow, yeah,
That's a great idea.
You should do a live, episode and describe
Just
it.
me doing it.
Yeah,
Take a Schwanger,
and then we sell it as a meditation, as our meditation side hustle. All right, well, that's coming soon in 2026. Meditate with Casey's meditation about the Mind Games flashlight blind yourself app.
No, don't open your eyes. You got to keep your eyes closed. They're very specific about that in the app. Do not open your eyes.
Open up your eyes now. Tell me what you see.
All right, so this goes into the I'm only sleeping montage of all the people,
Chilling.
trashing.
They're burning more copies of Beatles VI, and they made a terrible cut, a poor decision of a line I always loved, where they have Ringo saying millions of kids were burning the Beatles records. Then they rebought them. And John has a great line, too.
Yeah, middle-aged disc jockeys.
Middle-aged DJs and 12-year-olds burning up LP covers, and it's
I
right.
love that.
Well, the photos we saw of them were a sort of middle-aged DJs and 12-year-olds burning a pile of LP covers.
Millions of kids were burning the Beatle records. There was bonfires of them, which is okay for us because then they rebought them.
I love that.
That footage is so funny.
Now, what they did do, so from an earlier episode, I think it's episode 4, this is where they took episode 4 stuff and put it here with Ringo having to turn his cymbals up. If someone has a pop at me, what's this cop going to do? Catch the bullet?
One of the times I was really worried because I had the cymbals a bit like this, So give me a bit of protection. Usually they're like this, but I had them up. But this guy, and then I started getting hysterical because I thought, well, if someone in the audience has a pop at me, what is this guy going to do? He's going to catch the bullet. What is he going to do?
And then George saying it was terrifying. There's firecrackers in the hall, and you'd think one of them died. Talking here about the craziness.
And I'm pretty sure this is where they pull John saying, I didn't think they'd get me, and then it fades out.
And it's got to fade out into Shea Stadium Part 2 with the one and only Kathy Bartlett. Kathy Bartlett made it.
Love that she's in
They
it.
cleaned up the audio, too. It's we're going to need it for future drops.
Yeah, thank
you, Mal Technology.
I bet there's another group you like better now than the Beatles. Is
There is.
Which one?
Herman and the Hermit.
UBP drops remastered. I love it. It's its own thing.
Yeah. I was really hoping we'd get Rubber Soul Hey Hey. It's really disappointing.
That is disappointing.
With all the Kathy Bartlett stuff, and when Ringo talks about, so we didn't sell, 70,000, we only sold 50,000 tickets.
Right.
And there was a great quote, the first half is in, but then he's like, Beatles can't sell tickets, says Roger Whittaker of the Dallas Times, which is just a funny name he pulled out of his butt that is gone.
They've only sold 50,000 seats. It's all over for the Beatles, says, Roger Whittaker of the Dallas Times.
And one moment that I've always loved, guys, forgive me for delving into this for a second, but there's something to be said that I've always connected with the condescension of that reporter's voice when he talks to that one kid and he says,
Don't you think this whole Beatle craze is sort of silly and strictly for girls?
No, not really. I think they're very talented musicians and talented songwriters and excellent showmen.
You like them?
Yeah.
in the midst of the chaos, he's interviewing this young man who's giving these thoughtful answers, and they cut almost all of it. In the streaming, I think they only keep, how long do you think they'll last? Well, as long as they keep playing, they'll last. But you're missing the essence of what made the fans love them to begin with. You see all the women, how great to have this young teen who's well-spoken, and hey, aren't they for girls? No, they're great musicians, they're great performers or songwriters. That quote being gone just bugs me.
Another one, there's a pissy John quote that got cut.
Yep. It doesn't matter about people not liking our records or not liking the way we look or what we say. You know, they're entitled to not like us, and we're entitled not to have anything to do with them if we don't want to, or not to regard them. You know, we've all got our rights, you know. Harold.
I love that. Love it. I can't believe it's gone.
Yeah, that got cut.
That's John being John.
And there was also predictions of death threats that got cut. And to me, Candlestick Park, their last concert ever, that was a defining moment. And that feels in the streaming version like it was just brushed over and not given any importance or the weight it deserved.
100%. The build up to the end was so massive that the actual ending, maybe because there isn't a lot of footage of it.
Yeah, right.
The ending did feel a bit less powerful than I wanted it to. I will say the montage of all the touring, they cut the French horn solo out of For No One, and it's like, it's a longer montage. It's one French horn solo away. Are they rushing to the end that much that they got to cut the French horn solo of For No One? Who does that help?
Well, they didn't want to pay Alan Civil, you know. That's the thing. Got to save money, you know. It's a nickel and dime operation.
You will not disrespect Calderstone. You will not disrespect Calderstone.
Yeah, I will say I always like, because it's like a reverse chronology montage, and it did feel like there's different clips. I feel like, did they cut John in the Spanish hat? Was that like a cultural appropriation thing? They were playing in Spain and he had the hat on, you know? Like,
they cut the best scene from How I Won the War. They cut John acting. Oh, that's coming up. I don't want to jump the How I Won the War.
Well, that is, I mean, we're getting there because that's the fall break. Yeah, we're there. Let's do it. Yeah, they cut a clip of John getting bombed at in How I Won the War.
Some bastard's been pried, has he, Jock?
One bastard down the road stinks to high heavens.
Kid, you a duration bloke?
You wouldn't chuck it, would you?
Well, pack it in then. I'm a regular. It's my sodden career liberating, all right?
And doing really good acting.
Yeah, for John, yeah.
When did you become a Beatle bitch?
I'm just being honest. We're talking about actors, right? John's never claimed to be an actor.
Tony's a filmmaker, and he has a right to opine on the professionalism and acumen of a non-actor taking up a role from someone.
John ain't no actor. John's a natural actor.
You're right. You're right. No, but you're right. I mean, it's weird because he was in the family way, but Paul cut him out to do the score. You know, he's like, no, cut him out. I need to do the score. Score is going to replace John. I'm doing things on break too.
And you forget how beautiful Love in the Open Air is. It gets a lot of time in the segment.
It does. Yeah. Yeah. The family way gets some time. All right. Now it's time to go into the studio years. I always wanted to know what album John is carrying. I can't figure it out. He's carrying an album as he walks into the studio. I think this is around December of '66 when these actual things took place. But it gets us into the whole Strawberry Fields, Penny Lane situation.
I've always loved Paul playing the intro to Strawberry Fields live on the Mellotron.
We had this thing called the Mellotron that we did the intro of Strawberry Fields on. This, in fact, is one of them. We had flutes on there. And this was the intro.
Let me take you down, 'cause I'm going.
That's a neat moment.
Okay, I agree. But what about when he does the head tilt thing? That
on down?
Yeah, and then he tilts his head. Oh, I can't do that. That's
90s
one of those,
Paul.
That's not. Yes, exactly. That's 90. Yeah, 90s Paul's tough.
Tony, as Paul McCartney might have said in '93, this one's called Biker Like an Icon.
I will say you do get to see a pic of the actual Strawberry Field in place of like slowed down Penny Lane footage from the DVD. So that's cool.
That's neat.
Again, I just want to reiterate how much I love the Strawberry Fields Forever video. I think it's the best video that matches the timbre, whatever of the song out of all their videos. I think it's the one that just matches it the most. I love it.
Tony, I know that's one of your favorite songs too. Early on, were you familiar with the music video, or sort of where did that come into play in terms of your relationship to that as your favorite?
Well, it's briefly in Complete Beatles, I believe, right? I think we see a little bit of it.
Oh, okay.
And then you see most of it in the DVD, if I recall. And then at some point, at record shows, I bought a VHS that had a bunch of the promo videos,
Cool.
in various quality,
So was Strawberry Fields already your favorite before that video came along, or was that like a contributing factor? And also like this part of the story, like this really, I feel like Anthology hammers home that this is the pivot point for them, transitioning from performing artists to recording artists.
For sure.
Did you have a sense of that as you fell in love with that song, or is that just sort of in hindsight now you can sort of see that as maybe a contributing factor?
There's something about that song when I first heard it. I just loved it. I feel like it was never played on the radio. I don't think I ever really heard it on the radio.
Wow.
Like, I think my mom bought 67 to 70 on cassette, and, it opens the cassette. And I heard there's something about that Mellotron sound, that flute patch on the Mellotron. And then, like, it's the weird song. It doesn't rhyme. It's lyrics
not in
are
a key. Like, it's like atonal, right?
Right. It's fused
between keys.
Yeah, it's in the cracks. Yeah, it's hard to play. I mean, basically, it's in kind of C. If you have to play it, that's where you do it in C, I think. But like, yeah, the lyrics were very Gen X. Like, I think a no, I mean a yes. Which those are the lyrics, by the way. Not I think I know. I mean it's I think a no. I mean a yes. He's indecisive. He's being like, it's just when you're 13, 14, it makes sense,
Yeah.
Well, and what's so funny is when I was 13, 14 and younger, I was blown away by the beautiful pop masterpiece of the A-side.
The other
double
A-side. The other A-side.
I said the double A-side. And that's the beauty of that single is Penny Lane is about as strong of a pop song and as unique of a pop song and as psychedelic of a pop song as anyone ever wrote. And remember, that was on the Blue album, sure, but unless you had an import of Magical Mystery Tour around the country, you didn't have that on an LP until the Blue album.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's so fun how Strawberry Fields and Penny Lane then go into Sgt. Pepper. That Blue album opener is a killer.
Yeah, Blue album's rad, man. One little note, again, these are like things that were in the DVD that are not now streaming. I think there was a transition out of the Strawberry Fields video into a Paul interview, and it's where it's into that psychedelic negative image thing.
Yes.
And then they dissolve to Paul, and Paul's in that negative psychedelic image, and it dissolves into, normal, not negative. They got rid of that, They got, again, the whimsy. This is another whimsy cut.
Well, wasn't that a tribute to Negative Creep?
The reason that song fades out, there's like no Nirvana songs. There's like one Nirvana song that fades out. Anyway, the reason Negative Creep fades out is because when they were recording that song, they ran out of tape.
Really?
Yeah.
Because he's stoned.
Yeah.
One thing that's made me laugh forever, first time really talking about Anthology, is we've entered into the phase where George is being interviewed in the Coliseum. As much as give Paul a hard time. Where the fuck is George?
Yeah.
He's either in like a weird design thing with gold swords and I mean, what's going on there? And now he's in the Coliseum.
He's opening for Yanni at the Acropolis.
Right.
Here's John Tesh doing at the NBA and NBC.
Someone finally played him a copy of Pink Floyd Live at Pompeii. Another Elvis thing that got cut was Paul talking about how Elvis sent his car on tour and how that was an inspiration for Sgt. Pepper. So that got
Can we
cut.
do that? Yeah.
We'd read a report somewhere that had said Elvis Presley has sent his gold-plated Cadillac out on tour. And we just thought that was like the greatest idea going, because we'd been touring and sending ourselves out. We thought, that's a really good idea. You stay at home and send your car.
Now, that animated Sgt. Pepper album art, I feel like that comes from that film. It was 20 years ago today. Did you ever see that, TJ?
I did. I think that's also used in the original anthology. But yeah, I think that's part of that document. Is that the one that... No, Phil Collins did the Hard Day's Night one. 20 years ago today was not. It was around the same time, but no.
I think it was about Sgt. Pepper. It was...
yes.
And so it came out in like 87.
Anniversary year.
Yeah. And I remember they played it on TV late at night on Channel 11 or 9.
Yes,
One of those.
it was on 11. That's why I videotaped it off of. Yeah, I've got it on video.
I bet we taped that on the same night because I had that. I taped it off the TV. And that's where I remember seeing that footage of the Sgt. Pepper, the album cover coming to life. And it's that claymation. It's that, old style, manual labor claymation that I think looks rad.
It kind of puts the Beatles on the same par. I know we've been mentioning this a lot lately with the Raisinets.
You mean the California raisins?
the Raisinets.
Wait, was there ever a girl group called the Raisinets? And if not,
no, Raisinets are
huge
the
miss.
popcorn.
Huge miss.
Those are the chocolate covered raisins you get at the movie theater.
I know what they are. That's what I'm saying. Is like if that was not used in marketing, it was a huge miss.
Aren't Ray Charles women the Raisinets?
Oh, I heard it through the grapevine. Raised in the California sunshine. Oh, through the grapevine. Yeah, I heard it through the grapevine.
That's sweet.
So we're into Pepper now, and we've got the Mr. Kite stuff. We've got that, scary circus footage that's survived into that stuff is scary. I feel like that stuff gets scarier the more it ages.
Yeah, that's where the remaster doesn't make that any more palatable.
I love watching George Martin listen to playback of Day in the Life Take One. You can see his love for John in that smile. It's such a telling moment.
He's so excited by the Sugar Plum Fairy moment.
John was singing while he was playing his acoustic guitar. Paul was on piano. George was playing maracas, I think, and certainly Ringo was on bongos. John counts in by saying Sugar Plum Fairy, Sugar Plum Fairy.
Sugar Plum Fairy, Sugar Plum Fairy.
Real quick, back to Mr. Kite. John says in a passing moment that Mr. Kite could have been on any other Beatles album.
Yeah.
Which I just could not disagree more. That so squarely only maybe it could go on the White Album because that's a free for all. But that so squarely belongs on Pepper and nowhere else. What is that sentiment?
It's funny because in this, both the original and on the DVD, they show George Harrison saying Pepper's not his favorite album. I think it's not Ringo's favorite album. I think it was not John's favorite album. I think that they were happy with their contributions, but there was resentment toward Paul. This is the time where the Beatles became Paul's group when they stopped touring. And I think by the time Lennon was being interviewed, and correct me here, Tony, if you think otherwise, a lot of Lennon's passive-aggressive resentment was because the Beatles, which were John's band, became Paul's band. Sgt. Pepper, Abbey Road, the Let It Be film, wanting to tour. So much of the Beatles became Paul.
I see what you're saying. Yes. And I see what you're saying. Sonically, it feels like it only fits on Pepper, maybe Magical Mystery Tour, maybe the White Album.
Yeah.
But I think the point John was making was that he was not Taylor writing songs for this concept album.
Sure.
This is him saying it's not a concept album. It is because we said so. But Mr. Kite, I didn't write that for Sgt. Pepper. That could have been on anything.
I see. Cool. Okay.
Yeah. That's what he means by that.
And in fact, later Dave Dexter would put it on Ram.
And that's why Paul plays it live to this day. This one's on the Dave Dexter version of Ram. He only does it in America because he knows his market.
I read the news today.
In the Day in the Life video, it seems like they added a little clip of Patty Boyd during the Blackburn Lancashire bit. That's new.
Is Paul talking about the ending chord, A Day in the Life, new?
Yeah, that's new.
That felt, that felt new to me.
Yeah, because he's like, get the mic down here, where he's demonstrating the chord live, like on a piano next to him.
But he's doing it on C. He's not doing it in...
Oh,
he's definitely not in E.
The big grand pianos at the end. I was very into, if you listen on... If you stick a mic on that, that'll go on for about a minute and a half. Should we listen? No, we haven't got time. It's still there, and that'll go on forever. And that was just one of the little things fascinated me, so I kind of brought that to the session. I said, how about still there? Can you hear it? Bring the mic in. And if you bring the mic in and in and in, it's still there.
Along those lines, I had a little bit of like get back goosebump moment seeing George Martin working on that orchestral climb with the orchestral players. Is that the most iconic moment of sound design in recorded music history?
Oh, what a great question. It's become so taken for granted that I think it's become overlooked, but to build up that orchestral sound.
It's such an insane thing to do. It was such a great way to meet the brief. Like, it's like, hey, we need a build here. And the execution of it is like so magical, and getting to see it all unfold and see him command that orchestra was thrilling to me.
Yes.
I agree. And I know that gave you Get Back goosebumps, but coming up, Only a Northern Song gave me Yellow Submarine Creepypasta. I thought this was funny. They're talking about the photo session for Sgt. Pepper, and there's this new comment from John about 2 people being high and 2 not because they didn't share. That was
I hadn't heard that before, yeah.
And if you look closely at the album cover, you'll see 2 people who are flying and 2 who aren't. That's just a little in-joke. 2 of them didn't share it with 2 others.
There's that famous Ringo quip about Sgt. Pepper. He says it's a fine album, but I learned to play chess on it. Also during this time, I don't know if you guys knew this, Pete Best learned to make a sourdough starter.
After about 3 or 4 minutes, he turned around and said, Pete, I've got bad news for you. He said, in a nutshell.
Then you add a little flour and some chocolate goo, and some sugar and vanilla and some nutmeg too. Push them into the oven until the 10:15. We're the snappy, happy, snappy little baker men.
Thank you.
You know, Tony, I also learned to play chess on this album. And in fact, every time I hear She's Living Home, I turn it off and I play One Night in Bangkok, my friend.
Good song. Good song.
Better than She's Leaving Home. Where was Dave Dexter then?
Okay, so yeah, we get some Within You, Without You. We get some Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. The story of John accidentally taking acid in the studio.
I never took it in the studio. Once I did accidentally, I thought it was taking some uppers. And I was not in a state of handling it, but I took it and then I just noticed something. I'm so scared on the mic.
And usually episode 6 ends with the Beatles going off to this Greek island. They were going to buy it and drop out. That whole thing got cut.
I have, as of this recording, only seen through episode 6. I've not seen 7, 8, or 9 yet. I'm going in order as we record because I don't want to lose my mind. I don't know if that shows up again. You don't have to tell me, but that's a whopping omission because it was an important enough story to end an episode in 1996 and 2003.
Thought somebody had said you should invest some money, and we thought, well, let's buy an island. We just go there and drop out. We rented a boat, and we drove this boat up and down the coast from Athens looking at islands, and we came to this island that we arranged to go and see.
I will say this, it always felt like, to me it felt like bonus material because that was not in the, A Beatles C version.
It was not.
And it's a part of their story that doesn't get told often. We never really hear about the Greek island. Other than I'm pretty sure this is where they met Magic Alex, right?
I was just going to say that. I don't know if they met him there, but I know he was Greek. To me, it was always a sign, and they play "Baby You're a Rich Man" underneath it in the
that's how it
DVD.
ends. Yeah.
And I feel like it's a commentary on the obscene amount of money and all the taxes they had to pay and eventually their financial mismanagement. To me, it's an important moment. To just lose it all is ridiculous to me.
Yeah. I mean, I'm with you. To me, it's a curio, and it's a fun curio. And then there's great footage of, all their girlfriends in bikinis. So that's, fun for guys.
Tonight on Disney After Dark.
And girls who like girls.
And girls who like girls, yeah. And and non-binary that like girls and
Everybody who likes boobs. That's like 90% of the human population.
Oh!
So how does it end? It doesn't end, with Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. We go to All You Need Is Love, which usually kicks off episode 7 on the DVD.
Fascinating. I need to reveal some of my Beatle ignorance. Was All You Need Is Love recorded on a live TV broadcast? Like, is this the same session where they recorded the song? Or
It is not. They played to a track on the TV session.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah. It wasn't all done live then and there. I believe it was recorded the day before, maybe.
What's interesting is the Beatles said that they wanted to pre-record it, and then a young news producer came in screaming, "We'll do it live," and that was Bill O'Reilly.
Really?
And just about 30 seconds to go on the air, and there was a phone call, and it was the producer of the show on to me saying,
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
There's also some new comments from George. He talks about Eric Clapton with full psychedelic regalia and permed hair.
Yeah, being at the shoot, which I didn't know till this reading. I didn't know Clapton was there. I knew Mick was there. I don't think I knew Clapton was.
We decided to get some people in who looked like the Love Generation. And I think if you look close on the floor, I know there's Mick Jagger's there, but there's also Eric Clapton, I believe, in full psychedelic regalia and permed hair, sitting right there.
This is also that fun bit that they were having. I'm glad they kept this. They're talking about, was this song made to order? And there's the editing humor where it goes from George throws it to Paul throws it to George Martin, who's silent,
yes,
and then back to Paul.
And I don't know if the song was written before that, because we were making an album at the time, so there was kind of lots of songs in circulation. Paul may know more about that. Over to you, Paul.
I'm not sure. It was John's song mainly. I don't think it was written specially for it, but it was one of the songs we had, and I don't know, actually George Martin might have a bit better idea than that.
You don't think that's ageism, punishing an old man for not understanding a question? God, you're cruel. Both of you are cruel.
Don't
to
be
mock
cruel.
an old man?
Elvis.
Belle Biv DeVoe? No, who's saying Bobby Brown? Ding, ding, ding.
All right, so, I mean, it ends on that. It makes sense. It ends with All You Need Is Love, which is more of a triumph than the footnote of the Greek island bit. Again,
Sure.
I
I
wish
agree
they
with
hadn't.
that.
I wish they hadn't cut it, but you know.
You know, I've never said this out loud before, but I feel like maybe the original 8-part Beatles Anthology, guys, was not split up into parts for creative reasons, but rather was split into parts because of rough timing reasons. I wonder if the openers and closers were deemed different for home video back in the 90s versus we have all this footage, let's just get it out. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Well, now we're going to have to do an analysis of timings and opening and closing scenes across the original broadcast, the home DVD, the director's cut, and the streaming versions.
Yes!
Sounds fun.
Whose homework is that?
P3Z, this is what AI is for.
Yeah, listen to the P3Z Nuts. It's a extra show. It costs $14 a week, but it's precise.
Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Android Bots Can't Sing. I'm P3Z Nuts.
I am Rosie.
And today we're settling one of BeatleBot's most heated debates. which McCartney album tops them all, Ram, or Memory Almost Full?
So, Tony, like I said, I've not seen episode 7, 8, 9 yet. 9's the one I want to see the most, but as I've said, I haven't cheated because I want to watch it as my reward. And I don't know if we're going to air 7, 8, and 9 coming up next, but I do know that it's coming.
Oh, it is coming. And spoiler, Ringo's drum kit is named Rosebud.
I am Rosie.
Untitled Beatles podcast. Like and subscribe.
I have a joke that'll take us nowhere. Paul's bass is named Rose Darling. The Steely Dan hit from Katie Lied.
Jesus. Did take us nowhere. Yep.
Told you.